We'd had a few early morning frosts just recently. Unfortunately, because my potatoes hadn't broken surface yet, only recently planted, I decided to add a little cover on the top of barley straw, and I think that will pay off. Although it's nice to get some early potatoes, sometimes the efforts are destroyed by overnight frosts. And as you can see, these have had a right battering. Potentially, we've still got another 4 weeks of this. If you watched the last video, you'll have seen that I had quite a deluge of lettuce. Well, I was struggling for somewhere to put them, and I had the bright idea. I got the runner bean bed here, which is more or less ready to go. However, as you've seen, I've only just planted the runner beans, so I may as well make use of the space. I've crammed them in nice and tight, and because we're still having frosts overnight, I'm going to put this little cloche cover over the top just to give them that little bit of extra protection. And there it is with its cover on, as if it was made for the job. Exact length of the bean bed. How lucky is that? As we come to the end of April and get into May, I see quite a lot of people on YouTube but are starting to get a bit worried about the state of the progress and the beds and that because of the weather. As you can see, my beds are not in the best of condition, but doing crop rotation does pay its benefits because I know more or less what I'm going to grow in each bed. And in the late autumn last year, I had the hindsight to actually top the beds with manure, and all that rain we've had has washed it nicely in. So start of the bed preparation, tidying up. There's the odd 1 or 2 weeds that I need to pull out. I'm not going to leave them in. I know a lot of no diggers will just chuck compost on the top and leave the grass in there, but not for me. So any surplus manure, I can just take that off lightly with a rake, and I'll just lightly dig that in, and the beds will more or less be ready for planting out. I've got plenty of stuff in the greenhouse there. The onions and some of the brassicas are more or less ready to go out now. I'm leaving the door open each day to harden them off, and given the right slot, I should imagine within the next week or 2 they'll be ready to come out. I'm in the allotment greenhouse. I've got to be on the slant a bit because I keep bashing my head on this plank, which I've put up here to keep the mice off some of the seeds that I've put in. But I'll just quickly show you what's in here and how advanced it is. On here, we've got some of the extra lettuce, which I think these are the Navara. These need to go out. I've put some out already. And across here, the celery, them are doing great. Plenty of nice thick stems on them. In between here, I've got some celeriac, and if you can just move down onto here, there's beetroot. That needs watering a bit, but I'll soon pick up. And these are some of the brassicas, a mixture of cabbage, collie, Brussels sprouts and what have you. On the front here, these are some more, I think these are celeriac. More brassicas going along here. And I think these are cauliflowers, I think. As I say, plenty stuff going on and lots to go out. Move across onto this side now. These are me leeks. Starting to thicken up, although there's a little bit slow. I've got 2 lots of leeks. There's the autumn giants and the mussel brown. At the back I've got the mammoth pot leeks. Along the top I've just done another sowing of bolt-hearted beetroot. These my sunflower seeds, no sign of any sign of germination yet, so I don't know whether the seeds had it or it is a few years old. But I've got a couple of, well, 4 lots of flowers here, different. I think there's, what am I now? Oh, that's cosmos. And I've got some dahlias in there as well. Onto these visi roots, as you can see the beans are starting to come up. These are the runner beans, and the set along here are the French beans, mixture of Faraday and Ferrari. Looking down onto the bottom, these are all my onions. I'm very, very pleased the way the onions have turned out. All these have been done from seed, no sets, and they've had bottom meat but no lights at all. and I'm starting to thicken up now, so I'm very happy with him. The few on the end of it are the plants that I bought from DT Brown. They are the Kelsey, and again I got some red onions here. I can't remember what the varieties are. I need to look at the what's it, but these I'm ready to go out. I have the greenhouse door open all the time in here, except for the light at night. I'll shut it, so these are getting nicely hardened off. And bringing up the rear, I've got some bolt hardy beetroot again. Them are ready to go out. Out of the two beds first, the onions and the brassicas, I'm going to concentrate cleaning up on the brassicas first. Although it looks a mess, it won't take long to clean these up. Because I knew I was growing brassicas in here, I wanted somewhere to dump this manure, and that's why I put this plastic sheet down. And that stopped that leaching into the soil, because I don't want that in the soil at all. In fact, once I've weeded all this, I'll probably do a pH check, and I may end up having a bit of lime. Whatever I do, I'll be giving this address in the pearl colonial, which is a good way of reducing the risk of getting clubroot as well. So on the other bed, that's where the onions are going to go. They usually I put my onions out round about the lead up to spring bank holiday in the UK, which is towards the end of May. So anything from the 20th of May onwards, that's when the onions will go out. So that's probably 3 weeks time. And in the meantime, I'm going to start and get this ready. I know there's a reason I always keep old compost bags, and what I'm doing, I'm actually going to be bagging up this horse manure now. I'll just put it for storage on the side of the allotment, and when I do come to use it, it should have rotted down nicely. So I don't know how many of these I'll fill. In fact, these are something of a collector's item now, the good old Bathgate days. Well, there was more there than I realised. Actually filled 11 bags in the end. I've just put a little bit of polycarb over the top now to keep the elements away, because the bags are still open, and let that rot down. I'll find a more permanent resting place for it a bit later on. I'll just spin you around, and this is what's left now. As you can see, the black sheet's all covered. It's just starting raining, so I'm going to call it a day, but tomorrow, weather permitting, we'll be back out, lift the cover, have a look what's underneath, and do the final bit of weeding here, and that'll be the start of the brassica bed. Well, good morning all. You join me, we've got a bit of sunshine at last. But saying that, we've still got the strong winds, and they are bitingly cold. Nonetheless, I'm going to carry on with this, what we finished yesterday. Remove the cover and get rid of all the weeds. Looks a bit cloudy, so I think we might have a drop of rain this afternoon. So let's crack on. As you can see, that's not too bad here. It's got a little bit compact with the weight of the manure on the top. That's no worry. Not many weeds about, so I'll just give this actually a light rake with a 3-prong cultivator. I had second thoughts, and because it's got little compact, I thought it'd be better using the Wolf soil miller, and that's doing a nice little job of it. I've just done a pH check on the beds. I'm using a soil meter. I've got a soil test kit, but I've used this for speed, and to be fair, they're fairly accurate, these are. This one's made by Plant Pack. And the reading on the bed there, 7, both neutral, and this is a 7.2, which is slightly alkaline. So I'm going to give them a light dusting of lime just to increase the alkalinity a bit. Now, when you add lime, there's no need to go over the top and actually saturate it. You can always add more, but it's difficult to take it out. And also, try and do it on a day when you ain't got much wind. When I've covered the beds, I'll give this a light raking in, and then when it rains, probably this afternoon, it'll give it a good wash. Now that I've given that a dusting, the only thing left for me to do now is to give it a light dressing into the top of the soil. I'm going to use the rake rather than the soil miller because I want to keep it quite close to the surface, and then, as I say, when it does rain, it'll wash it in from the top downwards. So not too deep, just a light scrub over the top, like that's all's needed. Another benefit of raking this in like these, I don't know whether the mic's picking it up, but the wind is still quite strong here, and being lime, I don't need just blowing off. So by actually tittling it into the top, it'll hold it down a bit. You saw earlier on in the video me planting out the lettuce in here, and I've put this green cloche on, and I've had a look inside them, doing okay, but I want to give them a bit more extra heat. I want to bring these on a little bit quicker because the beans are starting to pop up now, and probably within a fortnight or so they'll be coming into here. So try and speed them up. I'm going to remove this net cloche and put my plastic ones over. Hopefully that'll generate a bit more heat and say bring them on a bit quicker. Looks much better with this on. Gets more light in and it'll hold the heat. Although the ends are still open, so you've got a good airflow as well. I'm just putting these hoops on, more or less just to keep the sheets from blowing away with the wind, but that should secure them enough. So that's the lettuce done. And that's about it for this one. Many thanks for watching. See you in the next one.